that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Hey everyone, Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another 1/6 scale figure review and unboxing. Now, right off the bat, you got to be asking yourself, why am I opening up and reviewing a figure at a gas station, at a Wawa gas station? Well, little bit of a situation. My vehicle on my way to work actually broke down at Wawa. I was getting some gas, getting my coffee, favorite place to be, and my truck broke down. So I had to call AAA, and I had the figure here. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do something a little different that you don't see every day. Let's do an outside quick unboxing and review of Mace Windu, and do a little outdoor natural light review, which is always great. So right off the bat, I just want to give a major shout out to Jeremy Casa over at Plastic Hero Collectibles. He's the one who got me this figure within just a few days. This is something I didn't get a chance to pre-order, and of course, Jeremy coming through clutch as always. So definitely check him out. I will obviously put all his information in the description of the video below. But getting into it, the box and all that stuff, typical to the anniversary packaging. I got to be honest, I'm not one who, well, if you guys know, the packaging really doesn't last for me that much. And I got one with a missing head sculpt, actually. I think, you know, what's going on here? Nah, I'm just kidding. I actually did a quick look at the figure beforehand, and I just kind of put it back in the packaging. So he's in there. I wanted to take a look at that sculpt pretty quick. But that packaging, as great as it is, it's not going to stay in the collection. If you know me all too well, the plastic and the packaging, they just don't stay. So like I said, opening up, typical clamshell, accessories on top. Oh man, that purple lightsaber, if anyone knows me, purple is my favorite color. Oh man, that purple lightsaber. If anyone knows me, that purple is my favorite color. So I can't wait to get that thing out and get it displayed. It's the first time we've had a purple lightsaber, so I'm really excited about that. So taking the clamshell off, and here is the headless figure. Like I said, I did a quick little peek of it before, but here's the sculpt. Here is the main point, and right off the bat, unfortunately, it's got the glossy eye syndrome. And if anyone's seen my Tobey Maguire Spider-Man review, I mean, obviously it doesn't have the purr system. It's, you know, Hot Toys hasn't, I think, cracked a good code on this. Obviously, you don't really want to break in the neck because it ruins the sculpt itself, I guess. But the fact is that, you know, because it's a one-piece sculpt and there's no purr system, the eyes, because they're fixed, it really, I think it takes away from the sculpt. Obviously, this is a sculpt of a lot of contestment. You know, people don't know if it looks like Sam Jackson or not. The eyes just, it's got dead eye syndrome. I hate to say it. Overall, if I had to give it a ranking, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's nothing special. I know people have said they've been trying to do a crossover between like the Clone Wars cartoon version of Mace and like the movie version. I mean, I'm just looking at it for what it is. Does it look like Samuel L. Jackson? Because, you know, I haven't seen any of the Clone Wars stuff. The quality of the sculpt is fantastic. Like the actual craftsmanship is great. I mean, the texture, the coloring, everything looks really great. It's just that for me, I just don't see Sam Jackson dead on. I'm trying to angle it here so you can kind of look at a couple different positions, because it sometimes you see the likeness there and then sometimes it loses it. And for me, that's the telltale sign of a sculpt. If it can maintain the likeness no matter which way you look at it, then it's a banger. But unfortunately, 6 out of 7 here. I hate to say that. We'll put that back in there, and then we're going to take a look at the body, get that all out on display with the accessories. So here we have, once again, the shitty Star Wars rectangle base. Not too much to talk about there. Fixture of hands. You got the Clone War options if you want to swap those out with the armor. I really like this one too. This is a very specific lightsaber hand. You'll see this later on. This was a feature of Sam Jackson when he held his lightsaber. He kind of tucked it and had his 2 fingers tucked under the hilt. You'll see what I mean at the end of the video. I really like that touch of detail there. And then, of course, the accessories, light up features here. Can't do it in the parking lot, unfortunately, but I did film a little bit of the light up features at the very end. Clone Wars armor and all the kind of stuff you expect. the lightsaber swing motion there, which I really love, and there's the optional Clone Wars armor if you want to do that swap out feature if you were choosing to. For me, it's not a big deal just because I'm going to keep him the way that he is. Now here's the figure itself, literally sitting on the hood of my truck outside. I just want to give a natural light review of it. I just have him doing a basic feature force gesture with the lightsaber, and a couple of things about it. I mean, the presence overall is really great. This really reminds me of like Doc Ock, where I wasn't a fan of the sculpt, but I understood the significance of the figure, if that makes sense. As of right now, this is the only Mace Windu we're going to have. So if you were on the fence about this, this is something I definitely would grab, especially with that announcement of Kit Fisto. You know, they're obviously, it's going to drive up, I think, a little bit of hype for this piece. The detailing on the hands is great. The robe is awesome. I kind of wish that we got a wired robe, because they really stressed in a lot of the blogger photos the drape and the wire. You know, it looked like a wired robe, even though it was a lot of just photo trickery there. But it really is a commanding piece in the collection. I will say it's got great presence. Getting a couple looks back there. You know, what am I doing with a toy on the hood of my car? But like I said, I was bored. Had a couple hours before AAA came to get me, so I figure film a toy review. Why not? I got a lot of looks on what I was doing, but that's the fun in it. But purple lightsaber, oh man, this is great. It lit up at the end was even better. But the presence of it's really awesome. I mean, is there a lot of like brand new features? No. A lot of it's reused stuff if you had Qui-Gon Jinn or other Jedi before. The tailoring, it's all what we expect from Hot Toys. Everything is what it is. The belt is pleather. Boots are pleather. We'll get into that. Like I said, that sculpt, I'm really just trying to give you a lot of outdoor angles with the sculpt to try to see where it changes on you. And I remember the Wonder Woman is the same way, where that figure would kind of change its direction. And now one thing that I really do love about this figure, and they kind of imply it in the photos, is that don't be afraid to articulate this. So the boot design here, it's pleather, but in the middle around the ankle is like some kind of fabric that really allows you to get some bending here, as you can see, doing a little bit of test here. However, the one thing that you really got to be mindful of is that that leather strap right there. It's super thin, and so if you bend the foot too much forward, you might snap that off or it might break. But as you can see here, I got him in a little bit more of a pose. Normally in a full pleather boot, I would not even try doing this just because of the creasing. But they are stressing that articulation and doing some more posing is a nice thing. I'm not going to sit here and be an expert if this is how the boot was designed in the movie. I mean, Hot Toys did a great job of replicating it to give collectors an idea of some articulation options. As you can see there, I have one kind of compressed in and the other not. So the boots are definitely a plus. The lightsaber is another great one. It lit up is awesome. Obviously, the purple is great. I love the color. It stands out in the collection. You'll see what I mean by that when I have it lit up in my display, because luckily AAA didn't get here. They got here pretty quick to pick me up. And then the robe itself, as I said, I really wish that we got a wired one. Those sleeves are super long. I didn't realize how long his sleeves were. I honestly thought he was wearing a standard Jedi robe, but then the sleeves are super long. And I'll touch more on that a little bit later. There's a little bit of wired. The front of the outfit's wired right here. The two straps in front are wired, but I do wish the robe itself was wired. And maybe they'll give us an option in the future. Give us a drape and a wired one, because like I said, these robes look awesome draped in museum, but then wired, they really do look awesome. I have a custom wired for my Qui-Gon Jinn, and it looks awesome. Even just some minor dynamic posing, it looks really, really, really good. And so, like I said, the sculpt itself, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. It's nothing special to write home about. The quality of the sculpt is great. It's just the likeness for me, it's not there. It's not a banger. If I had to say, I give it an L. But I got the figure anyway because I understand the significance of it, that it's the only Mace Windu. He's a bad motherfucker in the galaxy, and so he needed to be in the collection. And you see there, I'm talking about the cloak. It drapes really nice on the body. Sleeves are really long. I mean, I know that's probably the design of his outfit, but they're super long, and you really just got to play with them a little bit. I'm almost thinking about maybe steaming the robe like I did with the Gandalf, and just to kind of give it a more of a drape feel, because mine was a little stiff out of the box, and I think it's just some static I got on how it's clinging to the figure, but it's not the end of the world. But I think a wired one would really have been cool, especially because of the photos that we got of the figure. A little bit of teasing there of something that I wish we got, but you see we're doing a little bit of a drape test. But he looks good overall. The presence, in the collection, I can't deny he's going to look commanding, especially with the purple lightsaber. But that's pretty much the review. Like I said, outdoor, I was at Wawa. Luckily, I did get picked up about 20 minutes after this review. And I am home now filming, doing some audio, overdub. But I pretty much had fun checking this guy out outside. But let me know. So what we're going to do now is I got home, brought it upstairs in the display, plugged in the awful lightsaber pack, which I hate those USB packs. They have to do better at it. But there is him in a museum, kind of a museum pose, right? The purple lightsaber. Is it the most overpowering thing? No, it's typical if you've had these before. But there is the hand that I'm talking about, the one that kind of grips the underside of the hilt. It just looks awesome. And so there's the purple. And what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm actually going to turn down the lights in my display. Right now, my display lights are on. So are the lights on in the room. But it's a good looking piece. As a figure overall, I'll give the figure like a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5. It's not an 8 for me. It's got to have a little more for it to be an 8. But here's the thing: the sleeves also, I got to play with these a little more because they tend to want to like curve outward. If you see that, I want to tuck them in so you don't see the seam lines, the stitching. So I got to play with that a little bit more, and that's why I was thinking about steaming it. That way I could have some flexibility with how I want to pose those. The wiring sucks. I just have a white USB wire coming out of into a plug. But I'm going to drop the lights down on my display in a moment. So like I said, you guys can take a look at it because I have other lightsabers on display. And so, but like I said, that hand looks awesome. I like that grip, how he has it tucked under. The wire itself, I actually ran through the robe up through the back. And so it's disguised as best I could. I mean, it looks better. So that's what I like about the Jedi versions, because you can really disguise the wire in the robe. So that's good. The battery pack, I have it on the clip and I have it on his belt, which is pleather. But here I turned off the lights in my room. So you're looking at the light in my display cabinet and how that purple compares to the up figures. So it looks really, really, really nice. But I'm actually going to drop the lights down. You can see there's other figures back there that I have lightsabers of, Dooku, Luke, Ahsoka. And so those sabers look really nice. Everything looks really good. The purple just adds another layer to it, which I really like a lot there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down and actually lower the lights down completely. And there you see the magic. And so it's obviously more lit at the bottom because that's where the light is, and it kind of loses itself up through the saber. But you really can see that purple now pop. And obviously my display is not going to stay like this because, I want some light in there. But it is pretty cool. And it's just a different color than what we're used to. But overall, like I said, I am happy that I have the figure. It's not overwhelmingly amazing, but let me know your thoughts below. Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel if this is in fact your first time. And let me know your comments below if you have this or if you're going to be getting it. But until then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Acknowledge me!